correctly, and ended his life as owner of real estate with multiple businesses. And geez, they coming in here to Matt. You said 10. I'm overwhelmed. Now I'm getting scared out here. Y'all, if you know me, you know I ain't never scared. But let me stay on track because we ain't got a lot of time. So this course is comprised of 8 different lessons that each of our facilitators will take you through 2 of those lessons. Tamet is going to give us a rundown of what they are. We're going to hop into a real quick inaugural video, then we're going to jump on the introductory framework and start a group dialogue so that we can wrap this up. The time really flies when we get into this. So you're going to look up, it's going to be almost over, and you're going to wish it wasn't, but don't call me back. I'm just saying. All right? Take it away, Tamet. Now she over there stumbling in the background looking for her video, so I'm gonna keep on talking until the screen flips. And when the screen flips, I'll shut up. That'll be my cue to let her do what they do. What we're gonna learn tonight, or the questions that we're going to ask tonight is, say something to Max?
No, but I am almost there. So just give me a minute. I don't know why this all the tabs.
One of the questions that I want y'all to think about while Tamet gets us queued up is, are entrepreneurs born, and do they possess any unique ability, or is entrepreneurship something that can be learned? What exactly is mindset, and what exactly does the entrepreneurial mindset consist of? Those are some things that I want you to ponder as we watch this video, because as we lead out into the discussion, I want to hear from some of y'all about what I just asked. Are entrepreneurs born, or can anyone learn to be an entrepreneur? What exactly is mindset, and what is actually the entrepreneurial mindset? I love it, Courtney.
Before y'all
Courtney.
jump in, I'm ready.
I love
I'm
it,
ready.
Courtney. Courtney, I agree.
Oh man, no. All righty. Can y'all see my screen?
We can.
All right, let me make sure. Let me know if you don't hear anything.
Yeah, we don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
Mm-mm. You gotta press that thing that says with sound first.
Okay. Share sound.
Tenacity.
Got it.
Yes. Robin, I love tenacity.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. Fail big. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I'm in the wings, I'm about to go on stage, but the guy in front of me, he's singing like Pavarotti. He's just, he's just going on and on and on, and I'm just shrinking. I'm getting smaller and smaller. So they say, "Oh, thank you very much, and you'll be hearing from us." So I come out with my little sheet music, and it was Just My Imagination by the Temptations. That's what I came up with. So I hand it to the accompanist, and she looks at it and looks at me and looks out at the director and was like, So I start, you know, I'm gonna sing. I'm like, it's just my imagination once again, and they're coming away with me. And they're not saying anything, so I'm thinking I'm getting better. So I start getting into it. It was just running. They say, "Oh yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Washington. Thank you." So I assumed I didn't get the job. But the next part of the audition, he called me back. The next part of the audition is the acting part of the audition. So I'm like, hey, okay, maybe I can't sing, but I know I can act. So they pair me with this guy, and again, I didn't know about musical theater. And musical theater is big, so they can reach everyone all the way in the back of the stadium. And I'm more from a realistic, naturalistic kind of acting where you actually talk to the person next to you. So I don't know what my line was. My line was, well, hand me the cup. And his line was, well, I will hand you the cup, my dear. The cup will be there to be handed to you. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed, and I prayed. But I continued to fail, and fail, and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes? Don't be afraid to fail.
All right. Right. Before Denzel's word of encouragement to keep on keeping on, even when it looks like success is unattainable, I asked the question. I saw some comments in the chat. I think I saw tenacity. What else did I see? Anyone can learn. You have to be willing to put in the work. Entrepreneurs have to be patient. I appreciate those who drop the word, but I want somebody to come off mic. I want somebody to come off mic and talk to me about entrepreneurs. Is it a skill?
I'll come off, Mike.
All right, Rich gang.
For sure. Yeah, thanks for the space again. But Yeah. So you said talk about entrepreneurs, like what you want to hear, like.
So the question before we jumped off was, are entrepreneurs born with a unique ability, or is entrepreneurship something that an individual can learn?
I think I lost you for a bit. Was that my phone? Can you say that last part again? You said what?
Are entrepreneurs born with a unique ability, or is entrepreneurship something that anyone can learn?
Um, I mean, I would say maybe both. It can be like your environment that you grew up in that kind of gave you that like that hustle, you know, and then it can also be something that you can learn from, you know, just as you get older, just putting yourself in spaces and just trying stuff out. So I'll say both.
Are you currently an entrepreneur yourself?
I am. I have a ed tech company called STEM Plug that I started about 2 years ago. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm still working as an engineer currently as well. So I'm building while still, you know, working a 40-hour technical job. But I've been like I've been I'm now getting to the point where I'm trying to step fully into what I've been building. But I've kind of, when I say it kind of, entrepreneurship can kind of be in something that you grew up in. Like, I mean, I kind of, since I was like 5 years old, I kind of always been into like just kind of developing, taking ideas I have and seeing how I can like add value to somebody. Um, so
So you
yeah,
so you're gonna tell us all on this call that your entrepreneurial spirit started at 5 years old.
yeah, for
Yeah.
me, yeah, started
Yeah,
5 years old. Yeah,
that's what you just said. I'm
yeah,
just repeating what you
it
just
did,
said.
it
Like
did, and then
I
I
didn't
got
make
kind
that
of
up.
I got comfortable in like, you know, I went to college for biology and I was a scientist and I'm still an engineer. I got comfortable in like my corporate role. So I kind of let like my entrepreneurship ideas and talents kind of like sit on the back burner because out of this the comfortability of like my corporate role.
Mhm.
But now like over the past 2 years I've really started to develop what I have now and trying to really take that to the next level. So that's where I'm at now.
One more question, before I ask somebody else to comment on this same thing, though. You said 2 years ago you started your company. What was happening just prior to that 2 years? What was happening
Man,
right before you started that?
man, that's a journey. I would say
I
before
want
the
you to I want you to say it in 30 seconds. The journey in
well,
30
I
seconds. I want
almost lost my life in a car accident. That's what made me take entrepreneurship seriously, and my ideas. So that and yeah, just to divvy it up. That's what happened.
Well, I wanna commend you on stepping out on faith, but I also want to highlight something that you just said before I ask somebody else or whoever else is next. Come on, come off mic. I seen Courtney. Name so nice she had to say it twice. I seen her turn her camera on as soon as I said this, but
I'll let Courtney go first, and then I wanted to chime in about entrepreneurs.
absolutely, absolutely. The one other thing that I wanted to highlight was that you said currently you're 2 years into your business, still working a 40-hour a week job. That by itself says entrepreneurs do what other people won't. Because while people are sitting at home watching, keeping up with the Kardashians, or deciding that they want to go out to the bar and have a couple drinks or whatever, you at home on your laptop. You're making calls, returning emails. And those, my friend, are the ingredients that create successful entrepreneurs. Now, I just said I saw Courtney come on camera. So, Courtney, if you didn't want to answer this question, please don't feel obligated. I just saw that when I asked the question, you had came back on camera, and that may have been just because you want to be on camera for the evening. So, if
Well, I turned my camera back on because I was trying to get my light right, and then my
Okay.
light died.
Uh, okay. Well,
I don't like how I look because it's so dark in here, but it's okay.
You look great.
Thank you. I'll answer the question. Can an entrepreneur be born? I honestly believe that everybody is born an entrepreneur, but society taught us to be employees.
mm,
And I think for those of us whose minds really got wrapped into that employee mindset, depending on a paycheck, I think for us, I'm one of those people. I think for us, we can learn how to be an entrepreneur. I believe that everybody has gifts and talents on the inside of them. And if they explore those talents to the fullest, then you can create a business out of that and solve problems for other people and add value to other people's lives.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. I'm gonna go ahead and let Love jump in, and then I'm going to springboard from what you said because you mentioned the word mindset, and that is actually the next question. Go ahead, Love.
Yes, okay. So I appreciate everyone's contributions. I do believe that entrepreneurship can be taught. I think that it is something that you can acquire because I've seen people, they always say there's people who are not as intelligent as you, not as talented as you, but they're doing it, right? So, really, to me, entrepreneurship is a decision. And once you make a choice and, you just take that leap, you can sort of learn on your way down. Like I've always been a person to jump head first out the plane and then everything else I need, I build my parachute. So definitely a decision just to go for it. And then you can acquire other skills as you go on. And oftentimes you don't even know what skills you're going to need until you get in a situation where you need it. And then it's like, oh, let me call Chablis or let me call Temet and figure out how I can get to the bottom of this because I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Rich Gang, Courtney, and Love. Thank you for your contributions. And as we head on down the street and we start to open this thing up and talk about mindset, one of the things that I want to acknowledge at this point in the conversation is there's no right or wrong answers. So everybody's contribution to this conversation is valuable. And that's where a lot of times we find our best genius. So I love the fact that Love said, I get down to the bottom of things by calling my network and my support system. Let me tell y'all something about myself. I'm a lazy dude. It has been the bane of my existence and the superpower of my success right now. People look at me and they say, well, how you going to say that? That's an oxymoron, or maybe you're just a moron, or maybe it's oxymoronic, or whoever knows. But what it is exactly who we are. See, people don't change intrinsically who they are. We are who we are. What we do get an opportunity to do is to choose the outcome that we engage in as we develop through life. So we're going to leave something behind. It could be a good name, it could be a tragedy, it could be an atrocity, or it could be a unforgettable legacy. How many people using an iPhone or Mac? I'm using a Mac Air. Somebody left this behind for us. You know his name? Steve Jobs. How many enjoying the civil liberties that we have today in America? Y'all know a critical name that left that behind? There's one street on every corner in every city in the
Okay.
nation. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Because he was about the business of making a change and leaving something greater than self behind. Right? And that is essentially what we're talking about here. What is yours? What is your contribution? What is your desire? What do you love to do so much that if you did it, you wouldn't have a care in the world if somebody was paying you for it or not? They say, find what you love to do and do it, and you'll never work a day in your life. That's a damn lie. I'm telling you right now. Find something you love to do, and you're going to go hard in the paint, and you're going to work twice as hard as everybody else in the damn world because you're doing what you love. I'm just being honest, though. I'm just being honest. And so when we get into this conversation about the entrepreneurial mindset and what that consists of, we got to come down to what we believe. I think Love said it, or no, I think Courtney said it when she said that people have been conditioned. We have been taught, educated to be employees. Do y'all know that most entrepreneurs don't go to college? Do y'all know that most entrepreneurs are troubled people and troublemakers because they won't conform to the norm? They won't conform to the 9 to 5. So let me give you a little bit of history. I'm gonna back a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit about myself, right? I was lazy all my life. Still am. Let me be honest, real frank and honest. I'm lazy. And laziness caused me to try to take shortcuts in my life. And I didn't really realize how dangerous shortcuts were until I hit a brick wall at a dead end. And I found myself incarcerated in federal prison for 13 years. And I was sitting there at that time. I have thrown a decade plus away. And I said to myself, damn it, boy, you done got yourself in some malarkey now. I'm trying to stop using profanity, y'all. So y'all gonna help me out here. Boy, you done got yourself in some malarkey now. How you gonna work this out? But one thing I couldn't do was free myself. You know what I'm saying? People might have wore t-shirts say free bleed. It didn't work. Right? I I I knew that I had to go through this process. So one of the things I did was I took some time to cultivate myself so that I'd have a value for when I returned and was able to make a positive impact and a contribution. Now, one of the things about being lazy is that I look for shortcuts. And one of the things that I did that was to my advantage was I listened to people who had scripts to make a meal. They had $1 million game plans that they had already worked out. They had already did this. So it wasn't like I had to go figure this out. I just had to listen. One thing that I hadn't done previously, much like the developer of this curriculum who the story is about, the individual who went through this process didn't get his best information from engaging a school system or going to a workshop. He got the best information he ever got from pretty much an illiterate man who had good habits. He showed him, his uncle Cleve showed Talbert how to be diligent and intentional and then set good habits. That's the key to success. So I want 2 people, and Ms. Coleman, you got your mic open. Would you like to jump in here before I ask the question? Would you like to brave the challenge before you know what I'm gonna ask?
Sure.
Huh?
I don't know how to, yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. Oh, you say you don't know how to turn your mic off?
I had my laptop on and it needed to reset, and then now I'm on my cell phone, so I've never been on Zoom on my phone, so I'm like trying to figure out, like, it's different. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the question is, yeah, I'm assuming that you're either an entrepreneur or that you're interested in pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors. Is that correct?
Correct.
Which one? First or latter? Former or latter?
Latter.
Latter. Okay. Tell us about that.
Well, kind of like to piggyback off what Courtney was saying, I've always been really good at a lot of things. And so I would always fall back on like my natural gifts, but it was like I would do it for free. You know, a lot of times it wasn't until, you know, someone was like, hey, I need you to sing, or I need you to do this event or do my hair, where I was like, oh, and they started paying me, where I'm like, okay, I can actually get paid for this and become an entrepreneur. So fast forward maybe like 16 years ago when I had my daughter actually is an entrepreneur. She's been an entrepreneur since she was 8, and she's the one that kind of has sparked an interest in me, you know, as a 8-year-old, 9-year-old who said, hey, mom, I really want to go to this particular school. I'll raise the money. And I'm like, how? She said she was going to sell earrings that I taught her how to make. I'm like, yeah, you'd have to make a lot of earrings. So long story short, she raised $50,000 and I helped, of course, right? But for the bulk of it, she did it. Like, I don't sew. She used to sew like creations. She used to do paintings. I don't paint, you know? And so I could only help with vendor opportunities and, you know, just helping with her with setup. So now that we're here, we moved from Seattle, Washington on a faith walk to Durham. She wants to start a dessert business. And so she did a program that's kind of similar to this. It was a pitch. It was like a Shark Tank in Wake Forest. And she was a finalist. And so she won $1,000. And so we're trying to spend the money, right? So I'm kind of like, hey, I need to learn alongside of you, but also kind of do what I want to do. Like dive into my gifts and talents and things that I like to do. So
Yes, Timet said, girl, teach me how to make those earrings.
All I could hear in my head was, teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
she doesn't even want to make those earrings anymore. She's like, no one would wear those. She's 16. So, you know, I just go with the flow.
Well, so one thing I want to say is, wow. That's what I want to say. Wow. Like, how old did you say she was? 8?
She started at 8, but she's 16 now.
So I think she's the epitome of an example, a real live example of just do it. Just do it. She made $50,000 before I even jumped off the porch. If we're calculating by age, by when I was her age, I was riding tricycles and dirt bikes. You know, at 15, I was in a lot of trouble. So you talking about foolish idiocy? If it had have been nurtured, what could have been with the next 20 years of my life, right? And I'm so enthused that you stumbled into entrepreneurialism, right? You walked into a space using a gift and a talent and something that you would give the world for free, monetized it, and watched the baby show you how to blow. And now you're amongst greatness. Because this space right here is greatness. If anybody challenges themselves to say at 6:30 on Tuesday night, I'm going to jump on this workshop and see what's in it for me, then you already great. So this is what I say, Rich, I'm already that, right? I was like 2016 saying, oh, when I get home, I'm going to get that bread. Now, I ain't gonna waste a lot of time talking about what I did when I got home, but I got that bread and it wasn't illegal. And it's more about the establishment of good habits. And when we are taking shortcuts, we're taking counsel from wise mentors. I got a couple of mentees on the call. I ain't gonna point nobody out, but they're gonna point themselves out. That do what they say they're going to do and have achieved exactly what I knew that they were capable of. A lot of times as we walk through this journey, because I don't know if y'all heard me or who hopped on late, but I said entrepreneurs really start off in the dark with some ideas, and then they start to shed light by starting to open up and share that conversation with other people. Now, as we develop and we talk about mindset, what's your mindset? There is the mindset of the employee, which is what we were conditioned to be. And then there's the mindset of the 8-year-old child who believes that I could get into school. I could make $50,000 and makes earrings and gets into school. So I'm going to assume, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, I think they have these emojis down here. I can't find mine. I've been trying to put hearts and putting hands up, so I'll be having to just do my own little thing, whoop, whoop, that kind of thing. Did you turn the emojis off?
No, click on the 3 dots under more,
I did. I couldn't
and
find
it's
it.
at the very bottom under reactions.
Mine say reset default to default. Listen, something y'all know about me is I'm tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy. The other thing you know about me is while we're here to learn, we also gonna have a good time. So, don't take yourself too seriously. That's how you fail and you won't get back up. That's how you fall and fall backwards, right? Because you took yourself too serious. The one thing that, well, I'm not gonna say this inclusive of anybody else, but I tell you, it's something that you could borrow if you want to. The one thing that I experience myself is that if I can laugh at me and I cannot take myself too serious, I have the power to be anything that I want to be. Anything that I want to be. Well, you could criticize me. You can say he's an idiot. You can say I'm foolish. And as long as that doesn't stop me from the pursuit of what it is that I want to do, eventually I'll get there. What Denzel say, you keep going to the barbershop, you bound to catch a fade. You bound to get a
That's
haircut.
true. I was gonna chime in on that too. I was listening to a speech by Eric Thomas, and he was talking about how he wanted to pay Bob Proctor to kind of mentor him and just have a conversation. But he's like, man, I'm not trying to take your clientele, I'll pay you. And Bob was telling them, like, look, I'm a pro, like you're a rookie. There's no way that you could take my clientele. I'm not threatened by you, but I do admire your hustle. And you remind me, that's my son, y'all. You remind me of myself when I was your age, right? So, it was just funny to me that he said that to him, like, you could never take my clientele, but he wasn't being cocky with it. He was just saying, like, you can't do that, but I want to support you and kind of help you out because I see you. And a lot of the times people will sort of frown upon having that 9 to 5 or reaching out to people and feeling like, I don't have anything to offer this person. But like Chablis said, when people see that you do what you're supposed to do, when they see that the advice that they're giving you is not falling on deaf ears, that's a reward. Like that's a reward for me. When I have somebody meeting with me and I see that they're applying the advice and then they're coming back, I get excited because I like talking about the stuff already, so to know that somebody else is utilizing it and applying it to their life, it's a huge reward for them. It makes people feel good. What people don't like is talking to you about the same thing over and over again, or even if you're coming for new advice and you don't do anything with it because it makes them feel like they're wasting their time. So, take that same approach, I would say, when it comes to your 9 to 5. With my job, I learn everything that I can. Those trainings that we have to take in the beginning that nobody really likes to take, I'll learn from them. Like, how can I apply this to the business? I just think like that. So every situation that I'm in, I utilize it and make sure that it benefits me in some kind of way, even if it's indirectly.
Rolling into the power of choice. How many people, if y'all can find y'all reactions, y'all can put them up on reactions. but how many people have in the past gone to a job, begrudgingly hated every minute of it, and it's really like sucking the life out? How many people have done that? I know I'm not alone. I know it's not just me and Jamila. I know. I'm not. Okay. All right. I'm getting some confirmations that the world, the first experiences probably pretty much start off like that. We go in these places and we we feel like there's no other alternative or option. And I didn't understand this principle until incarceration. So I'm sitting there in the prison, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I make this time super duper valuable? So now, if anybody know anything about prison, we don't get paid. We have to work job details, and we don't get paid. So we're doing something, obviously, and it's for free. So I began to get this um, concept of, I will work for food, and the food that I get is food for thought. In my mind, I'm doing this work, but I'm getting something of value that may not pay a dividend today, but once I'm in position to apply it, it can pay a dividend tomorrow. So I get this whole different concept about engagement and how I look at everything that I do. Everything, not just the conversations that I'm having, not just visiting with family or exercising, the food that I'm eating. I'm always on a constant mission to grab value from it. So now I'm in the chow hall, and I'm noticing what all is being served, and I'm going back and I'm reading things like Men's Fitness and National Geographics and stuff about food and food insecurities and urban food deserts and what they're serving us, and how can I pick the most nutritious items in the chow hall? How can I get the most nutritious items uh, in the commissary? How can we steal the most nutritious items out of the back of the kitchen if we can do it? I'm just trying to figure out, every place that I am, how can I capitalize off the engagement and choose to create value in places where you don't know what it is there. That habit had me come full circle when it was time to release. Everywhere I went to rob them for all of the treasures of information, network, and connection that I could. Now, it wasn't robbery, complete robbery, because I gave something. So I gave something in exchange for the experience, but at every experience, I needed to get something more than a paycheck. I needed to get something more than menial tasks done. And that habit, that one habit, has been the accelerator to my long-term success at this point. The thing that really and I want to hear from somebody else, because so I'm about to shut up in about 2 minutes, and I need two people. You can come off microphone right now, and I want to hear experiences from other people to highlight this same content, this same conversation in your own experience, that you apply to your life to be successful. Who is I'll go? Okay. Thomas, I'll go. I can't say your first name. I'll butcher it. So, and I heard Shamet say it earlier, but you gonna be
It's
next.
okay. It's Aquila.
Okay, Akila, go ahead. Let me hear from you.
Sorry, I'm over here cutting this watermelon. But
That's what
I
you're
would
supposed to be
say,
doing.
as someone who fell for the whole corporate America trap, I was in this position for like 5 years, and I was in charge of learning and development for the company and training and facilitating.
Come on in.
And a multitasker.
Sorry, but I'm having an HVAC system installed, so you might hear some noise. I might
Do
have
your
to step
thing.
outside.
Do your
Are you
thing.
guys getting ready to vacuum? Okay. So I learned all of these skills because no one trained me on how to use certain stuff. So I had to like go through all of these different classes and workshops to learn how to build and design courses, how to develop curriculums and stuff like that. And at some point, you know, I didn't think that that would be useful to me. But when I started my business, I developed a course and I needed to use all of those skills to learn how to create my own course so that I could benefit from all of those skills that I learned. And it made it easy for me because I knew exactly what to do, how to do it, how to create the curriculum, how to design the slides, how to do voiceovers, all of that stuff I mastered on someone else's dime. And I had 5 years to perfect it. And then I was able to build an amazing course for myself, for my own brand and my own business. So all is not lost.
Yo,
um,
I just want to say, because I ain't got my things and my snappies don't work, but way to rob the bank. Because that's
right.
what you did. Like, yo, you went in there, whatever the responsibility was, doing it and choosing to embrace instead of just do it meanly and not capitalize, you robbed the bank.
Yep.
I don't know what you're creating now or what dividend is paying, but the smile on your face tells me that it was well worth the 5 years of investment.
It definitely was. I never thought that I wanted to be a teacher or an educator. Well, I never thought that I wanted to be a teacher, but in my mindset, teacher always came to mind like I'm going to work in a school or teach children or something, but I never thought that I would be an educator and work with adults or work with children, teaching them health and wellness and how to prepare healthy foods for themselves or how to, you know, use herbs for healing. But I was able to take all of the skills that I learned from being a training coordinator and leader over building an entire training program. And now I mastered how to facilitate. I mastered how to communicate, how to work people with in groups and teach and all of those different things. And then moving over into my brand, I created a course, I hosted workshops, I coached people, and I did all of these things as a quote unquote teacher or educator. So again, it allowed me to master that craft, learn how to educate, how to communicate, all of those things when I didn't even think that I would be using them for a business. But here I am using those same skills. And now I can get in front of a crowd of people and teach something, facilitate something, develop a program. And it's a cakewalk to me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So I got Robin Rogers. Robin Rogers.
Let me see if I can turn my video on. Okay, can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, hi everybody. No, I was just going to say, I love what you were saying because to me, you know, as a Christian woman, is understanding that a child of God, a follower of Christ, steps are ordered. And when you understand that, you know, because like for me, I got my first job at 15 working at Wendy's, and I'm like, this is not my life goal. You know what I mean? But at 15, I just want to be able to, you know, buy me some clothes and look cute going to school. But in doing that, I understand, you know, I worked there for 4 years, which was a little longer than most, but working there, it helped me build the skill. I could talk to anybody. I can go to the gas station right now and strike up a conversation, talk to them for a half an hour. I mean, it really helped my comfort and abilities to connect with people. And then moving forward, you know, I worked in the automotive industry and I didn't know anything about building trucks, but ask me now, you know. And the purpose of that is not so much that I know how to build trucks, but you know, the supervision at the place saw the leadership qualities in me and then put me in management. And in doing so, you know, I, like the sis said before me, coming up with, you know, I revamped the whole production line by myself, you know, and I didn't. The goal wasn't to do that, but God showed me this is what you can do. And so in creating that person in me, then that's what made me believe, I was making six figures a long time ago. And I'm like, but I'm tired of making money for them. So that's what prompted me to start my business. Cause I'm like, if I could do that for them, what can I do for my own community? Because like you said, right now I'm not in a position where I have to work, and I thank God for that. So I'm using my skills and abilities to help my community. So I haven't monetized my business, but my business is successful, and the monetization will come, and I'm not worried about that part, because what I do know is, and Tameka tell you, I'm always in I'm always in places that got, people are like, how'd you do that? How'd you get there? 2 weeks ago, I'm hanging out with Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if I'm going to always be put in these places where other people would love to be, I want to take my community with me. So that's what prompted me to start my business.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I you said something that I ain't even gonna get into, talking about the call of purpose on a person's life, and when you don't go in the right direction, how long it take to get right, can't get right. That's my middle name. Count your boy on the path right now. But I do want to highlight something. Anybody else want to say something to that before we move on? Anybody else want to say anything to what we're talking about when it comes to control and the choice that you have as you engage your developmental process? Because I want to highlight right now something that's a common theme. And one of the common themes that no matter, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think, Sharice, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say a couple of things that are resonating with me that I've heard. One, yes, it sounds like we are all on a faith journey. Faith over fear, belief is the first step. But in thinking about all the jobs I've had, since I graduated from college in the year 2000, and if I had to do it all over again, I tell my kids all the time, if I was in undergraduate school again, I'd be working on my business plan. Because like many I've heard, I had that entrepreneurial spirit from a very young age. And I knew it, but then you were taught, finish high school, graduate, go to college, get a good job. And I did. I got jobs along the way, but since my 20s, I can honestly say every job I've had, I've learned something. I've learned how to do some things really well, and I've learned some things not to do that have all prepared me to be a successful entrepreneur. But it's interesting for me to see now, as I've begun to reflect on all the experiences I've had for the past 2 decades, and I am an educator. Teaching is definitely one of my spiritual gifts, and I've known that for a long time too. But it's interesting to watch how God has cultivated and multiplied my gifts and talents, and also put me in spaces with people. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the person that just spoke, but also I've had similar experiences where now I feel like when I'm on a job, when he places me in a position, it really is to make connections and to network, and there's still skills that I'm developing and cultivating through those experiences. And I'm grateful for that. So grateful for the job, but thanks, Coach Temet. I know I'm approaching that season where now, because I'm still getting job offers, like for the past 10, 15 years, I've created a demand for my skills. And so I'll literally have people calling and telling me about jobs. Most recently, somebody wanted me to become the next executive director of a nonprofit that I used to be the training coordinator for. And I flat out told them, no, that's not for me, because I know that this is my winning season to focus on my businesses moving into 2025. But I had to get to that point too, speaking of growth mindset, to know that this is my time. So all of those things that I've done leading up to this, all of those skills I've developed, I've always worked hard in any job that I've ever had. Now I realize that, yes, now it's time for me to be the employer and to help my community in ways, and that will include job creation, for members of our community. So I'm just excited, and I'm excited to hear about other people's stories and journeys, because I do believe we are creating a pipeline for wealth in our community through these types of experiences.
I think you pretty much summed up the one thing that I was getting ready to, and thank you to Met for making sure that we got that comment in about transferable skills. the things that we learn elsewhere throughout this journey of evolution. Because as we are going through this process, we're cultivating for that time, for the time where you know, I jokingly say it's jumping off the porch, but literally it is. It's that faith leap that you take out into the world, out into the unknown, out into these uncharted territories, and just start swimming. There's gonna be some sharks out there, you know, and you're going to have to continue on that process in order to see success. And so uh it's encouraging. It's to me, I'm always enthused to hear other people's contributions of their journey, because I'm like, I know nobody gets to success without some trial and some tribulation. So we are going to pause for a 2 to 5 minute break to Met, and then we're going to shift gears and we're going to go into lesson 2 for the night, and we'll probably be wrapping up somewhere around 8:05 for 2 minute takeaways, contributions, and just open dialogue about the evening. So everybody, it is 7:36. Can we be back ready to rock and roll by 7:40? Thank you. I know we're breaking right now, but if anybody like to hop on and kind of just free discussion of anything that's been talked about, or some stuff that they've been thinking as we've been going through the material and would like to share, please feel free to jump on and
I
share.
would just like to commend everybody. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart because it's a decision where you don't have to do this. You know, like most things. It's not something that you have to do. And so you do have to have a different type of drive to engage in it. Most people, they look at their job as a source of income. And if you have a family, you have to take care of them. And, you know, you have to make sure you do certain things to keep a roof over your head or clothes on your backs. Like there's certain things that we just look at and say, you have to do it. But entrepreneurship is not one of them. And, you know, one person in particular, I'm not going to tell all her business, but I know Met, I literally have watched her from an entrepreneurship perspective, like have to start from scratch essentially. Well, at least that's how she felt in building her empire. Baby, let me get away from his show. But kind of start from scratch in a way. And I was literally reminding her, like, hey, the relationships that you've built, the things that you've put in place, like you are not starting from scratch. You are starting with a different set of knowledge, a different skill set. And that's really an amazing thing to witness. And this is one of the reasons why I continue coming back to this program, because I literally get to watch people that I'm connected with grow, and grow through things that can be very painful. But when they come out on the other side of it, it's such a beautiful experience. They're making more money. They have more accolades, more badges on their jacket, as I like to say. But you really see them earn those stripes, and I just think it's beautiful. I really can't think of anything that's more rewarding than your entrepreneurial journey can be. So please pat yourselves on the back and understand that you do have a community around you, when you're locked in, to support you and sort of guide you through, if that's what you desire. But for me, for a long time, community is what I was missing. And I really, really needed to develop that. That's what helped me take everything to the next level.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Anybody else got anything they'd like to share before we open up about opportunities and recognizing opportunities?
Yeah, Shablis, this is Bruce. Can you hear me? I'm driving.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead. Bruce.
Yeah, I was just wanted to chime in, man. The conversation is beautiful, and most definitely rewarding to just hear just some of these stories. I always say that entrepreneurship is one of the most powerful vehicles on the face of the planet, because it's the one of the only vehicles that makes you face every aspect of your life. So any level of anything you have not worked on or overcome emotionally, mentally, spiritually, your relationship with money, like it's going to show up in entrepreneurship. I have grown, leaps and bounds because of entrepreneurship. Doing it full time, it makes me deal with my imposter syndrome. Has made me deal with my inadequacies. It has made me deal with my level of production. Because when you start like breaking down entrepreneurship, like it really means to assume all the risks, or find, the way to assume as little risk as possible with much reward. And so when people take on risk actually helps makes you produce faith. And so a lot of people don't understand that entrepreneurship is one of the most spiritual vehicles. And so I tell people all the time, it's like, well, what does it, when you take on risk, what does it activate? And people was like, well, it could be calculated. I said, well, you don't know what the outcome is. You may have calculated risk, but entrepreneurship produces faith. And one of the things that's challenging the body of entrepreneurs is the lack of faith. Like there is a lack of production, like how you produce. And so I just wanted to add that because my faith has skyrocketed in anything that I touch, because I'm assuming all the risks, and then I'm trusting the process, my mentors, of course, and then hoping that everything works out, and then trusting God and trusting the process. So I just wanted to add that in there, that entrepreneurship makes you face all areas of your life because it produces faith. And I appreciate having this conversation. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I add something?
Man, he just hit us with a bazooka.
I'm trying to tell you.
Shablis, you opening the doors like that. I'm like, all right, you just opening the doors, bro.
You just made me rethink the whole rest of the night's conversation. I'm thinking about throwing the rest of the material away and let's just keep on down this road which you done started. Go ahead, Tamet.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm over here trying to find how I can raise my hand. Before we got on the call tonight, I was telling some of the facilitators today I had sat down and I wrote out six figures. And I'm not making six figures right now, but I actually wrote it out as far as a goal of a plan that how am I going to make six figures? And this is something that had never actually been a thought into creating a plan behind achieving this number. It's always been, okay, let me make some money. Let me make some money to do this and that. But it's never been this specific of a plan. And it's because being on this journey and my faith increasing that I'm like, I can see myself making this easy. I just need to develop a plan. So, just to allude to what you're saying as far as this faith walk and how it's hitting on all aspects of my life and just increasing that confidence, y'all, even as an organizer of all of this, again, I put this on because it impacts me as well. So I want to encourage y'all to take those risks, take a chance on yourself. And, as you're on that journey and your faith is increasing, the possibilities are going to come with it. So I just wanted to add that because I never actually sat down and wrote down, okay, this is my plan to make this much money. So if you haven't done that yet, write it down. And even if you're not ready for it yet, it's going to come in due time. But write that number down that you want to make. And if there's that gap in between, like, I can't see this for myself, come holler at me. While I'm still doing complimentary consultations, come holler at me. And I'll be happy to help guide you on that journey.
Now y'all better go hurry up and take advantage of free 99. Cause I'm telling you, them consultation costs gonna go up real soon. And dang, y'all just man. So opportunities, recognizing opportunities, and the both of the comments just now seed what's getting ready to be said next. It seeds it. And I want you to understand something about seeding things. When you dig into the dirt and you put a seed in the ground, you don't get a ROI immediately. You have to wait. You have to come back. You have to pour water. Then you have to wait again. When that little thing comes out of the dirt and you start to see it come up, you know that the weeks, the months, the years, the whatever weren't in vain and they were worth it, but you still don't have an ROI right away. You got to keep on watering. You got to keep on going to work and coming home and working a little bit more before fruit is actually born of that seed. Now, I'm saying this because Temet said something tonight. I think she said this before we got started, or maybe she said it as we got started. I don't know. I'm all confused all the time. I show up totally unprepared, and Temet be like, "Why you ain't nervous?" I'm like, "Cause you nervous for us. I'm okay. Everything's gonna be okay, right?" She said I wrote down $100,000. Now I'm gonna tell Temet something about planting that $100,000 seed. Yesterday, I was looking at some combined bank accounts because I was trying to combine another business bank account, and it showed a 365-day caption of revenue, and that caption said $236,000. And it was at that point that I realized within the last 365 days that $260,000 have gone through my hands as an entrepreneur. And what I have right now is zero. That's what opportunity looks like. Opportunity looks like 7 years later, even with $200,000 plus worth of revenue in a year, the seed is still growing. I can't take the orange off the bush that has not bloomed. I'm still in the process and I'm going to make it. Because opportunity looks like as that money comes, I got to plant another seed. As the next house is bought, I have to use the revenue from that to buy another house. So one of the things that Bruce said, he said, this process has had him deal with self and all the inadequacies that can show up and attempt to scare him away from his six-figure destiny. But faith keeps him steadfast. So opportunities. What do opportunities look like? I'm gonna shut up for a second because I had this whole thing, but they done just changed my trajectory. I feel like I done just went to church and so, you know, what does opportunities look like? Somebody hop in here. Talk to me about opportunities. Talk to me about opportunities.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tadrika. I had a little bug attack me, but this whole Zoom has been nothing but confirmation from the God, our Father that I serve. Because I mean, if I got a few minutes, I'll just name some things. And you're talking about faith and opportunity and what we think things look like may be the exact opposite of what it was intended to be. So what I'm saying is everything that has happened to me was for me to sit still so I can listen to this Zoom. I'm gonna tell you why. I worked 12. Okay, I'm gonna back up. Vehicle was crashed on July 3rd, and so single mom, 3 kids, been home from prison 5 years. Pretty much I'm the help in the family. And so nothing to complain about, grateful for everything. I'm blessed. I've been walking these same streets that I was trying to escape for 5 years without getting caught up in the midst. So I'm truly blessed. Grace. Um, the vehicle was crashed. We don't live on the bus line. Again, I have to get the baby to daycare, all of that, still have my job. Thought I would have full coverage insurance, and obviously I don't. I have liability. So that leaves it up to me to get fixed. Cool. All right. Talking about faith. 5 years before I would have frantic, panicked, probably been in the hospital, the world finna end. But God did not bring me this far to leave me. So prior to the car crash, I'm complaining about everybody pulling me each and every way. I got all these dreams and visions, and I am the plan. God equipped me for a time as such. I believe that us millennials, we are risen to do. Y'all spoke about Dr. Martin Luther King. It's been in a purpose for us to come to this place where we're at now. Entrepreneurship. They've been paved the way for us to come here. So when we just talking about the car crash and me losing hope and thinking I wasn't gonna be able to make it to work and the car insurance, the woman said, ma'am, I'm sorry to let you know what the coverage is not gonna cover. Okay, tears drop, but life gotta go on. I had this vision of the cleaning business and listening to all of my people, my family, my, God's children on this live to encourage a sister like myself at a time as such. I believe don't nothing happen by coincidence. This Zoom popped up in my email from a success coach that I'm not even connected to. So, okay, not only that, be careful what you pray for. I'm complaining about running around working for all these people. Well, God said, when you gonna sit down? Maybe I'm gonna have to stop you. The car not total, it's gonna get fixed. But when you gonna sit down so I can help you with the vision? I got all the people that you need to connect with. I got the plan. The purpose is already there. When you gonna sit down, little girl? Car won't crank. I ain't worried about a thing. Supervisor, okay. I'm gonna go back to work Thursday. It's all good. And so I just wanted to commend all of you all for, continue to empower me from, a place of God, I believe. I believe this is true, divine. This is confirmation from him. Like, don't get weary now. 6 years and 4 months in prison. I survived these streets in Durham. And so why would I get weary at a time as such? When he done brought me through the trenches, he done already brought me through that. So this part is only up. So thank you. I'm ready to connect and I won't die. I'm gonna live and faith. That's it.
Man. Woo-wee. Boy, that's not only a testimony, but it's a testament. Listen here. Listen here, because the conversation, and I got these papers over here, y'all, but can't nothing beat real life. Can't nothing beat real life. Opportunity comes in the most unassuming emails at the worst time in what everybody else on the outside looking in can see at the worst times of your life. Here go an opportunity. And Tadrika just preached and spoke to me. Go ahead, Courtney. I'm going to shut up. Hallelujah. I'm just going to shut up right now.
Yes, I love what Tydrika said. It just stirred me up. And I'll share this, like this whole Zoom is definitely confirmation. It's definitely an opportunity. Like, how do you say your name? Chablis? That's that right?
Hey, that's fine. You can call me whatever you want to call me. I'm hot. We on fire.
It's Chablis.
We on fire.
What is it? Chablis? Okay,
Yeah, that's
Chablis.
it.
But yeah, even this Zoom call is an opportunity. Like Chablis was saying, opportunity will come at like the worst time. Like, I think I got the email yesterday, and when I looked at it, I was like, Lord, that's tomorrow. I got to do this, and this. Like, I'm just getting off work. Like, but I made it happen. Like, when God provides an opportunity for you, it's up to you to take it, regardless of what you got going on. Like, I was making dinner, running errands. I was at the grocery store emailing Tamet, like, trying to get registered. But I'm here, and normally on these type of calls, I don't say anything. I be shy and timid, but I just feel the welcoming energy, and I really love it. I want to share an example of an opportunity. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I decided to come back and put my gift out there and stop burying my talent. And I was doing different things, creating new habits, renewing my mind. And my daughter's birthday was coming up, and I was going to different Walmarts looking for a specific item. And I did not want to go to the one by my house because I just hate that one. Went to all these different Walmarts and couldn't find what I was looking for. So I ended up having to go to the Walmart I didn't want to go to, but it was a whole day later, like a couple of hours before her party. And I met Melissa Wade, the radio host for the Light 103.9. I met her that day. And I was just kind of joking around because she had a t-shirt. I've never seen her. She had a t-shirt on that said The Light, and she was walking by. And I was like, hey, you work at The Light? I was just playing. And she was like, yes. And I said, well, what do you do there? She said, I'm a radio host. And I said, what's your name? She said, Melissa. I said, Melissa, wait in the world. She was like, yeah. So we took a picture, and I told her, I said, I'm an artist. I'm really serious about this. I'm trying to get my music out there. And she was like, oh, well, send me an email. It took me like 2 months to email her because I'm still working on my product and I didn't know what to say. But a person who was holding me accountable kept asking me about it. So I went on and emailed her. She emailed me back immediately and was like, it was so nice to meet you. I can't wait to hear your music. So when opportunities come, take them. That's all I gotta say about that.
Hey, so thank you for dropping that. I'm getting ready to take an opportunity right now. Normally at this point we'll be kind of wrapping up the content, but what I want to do is open the floor and give anybody who hasn't spoken, and even those of us who have made contributions, an opportunity to contribute to this space, because I've been so blessed and enriched tonight with everybody's share that I just want more. So I'm about to be selfish. And so I'm just letting y'all know. So if you want to come on camera, come off mic and share, you know, this is the opportunity right now. We got about 30 more minutes. I usually would do some kind of wrap up, but tonight we're gonna be obedient because disobedience has cost me tremendously historically. And so I am being led to do that. So you can either use your hand raised to line up and just come on
Can I
cue.
speak?
Go ahead. Go ahead. We're gonna start with Gloria Q and then everybody come on in.
All right, my name is Glory, like Glory, hallelujah. So without the A, but
Hallelujah.
it's okay, it's common, trust me. But when I say hallelujah, people get it. But so yeah, I was invited on this call by Tamet. She is my sister, and I am trying to venture, well, have been venturing into the entrepreneurial space within event planning. So I do have an event that's coming up that I'm excited about. And just speaking on opportunities, there have been so many opportunities that have came my way over the last couple of months. Some good, some scamming, and some not the best. But I have taken all those risks, taken all those shots. I'm a nurse. That's my full-time job, and I'm a travel nurse. I've been a nurse for 7 years, which is my second career. And the way that I'm looking at this space is whenever those missed opportunities or those rejection opportunities do come about, I just kind of look at it as me, how I started in the beginning as a nurse. Nothing was perfect. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had someone's life in my hand. I made so many mistakes that didn't kill anyone, but I made a lot of mistakes. But I also grew from it, and I'm learning from those mistakes, and it made me a better nurse today. So I'm looking at all of these risks and these opportunities as the same way. Some shots are going to get taken and some are going to get missed. However, I'm still going to take those shots that align up with my purpose and what I'm trying to do. So I do appreciate this space, hearing other people's stories. It was very enlightening. It let me know that I had to continue to push forward, even when things seem rocky, which they are right now, but I'm still continuing to move forward. And I'm just excited about this workshop and just the different presentations that are going to follow.
You.
Listen.
Yes. Hey, everyone. My name is Quinice Fish, and I'm the founder of QMF Agency. We help brands basically grow online and grow offline. So I just wanted to, one, hop on here and once again, just thank everyone for showing up and thanking Miss Tamet for facilitating this. I think this is a great safe space. I wanted to share just a little bit of my story. So my company, QMF Agency, pretty much started out from a failure from a different company. I had an e-commerce store that, long story short, things just went wrong with that, and it ended up inevitably like failing. And from there, I ended up starting this new company, QMF Agency, and I was like, I want to work with these big brands. I want to do content development for them. I have so many skills that I can offer them. I just need to be able to reach them. And I remember like sending out a bunch of proposals, and I didn't know how to necessarily make a proposal. And I felt like that was what was really holding me back. I'm like, I don't know what to say in this proposal. I just know that I have skills to offer these brands. So I had a business partner at the time that I was telling about this. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send these out. So I'm sending out these proposals for like $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. And my partner at the time was like, that's crazy. Like, they're not going to pay us that much money. Why would anyone pay us that? We've never worked with brands, but I just continued to send it out anyway. And long story short, we talked about faith and we talked about opportunity. I ended up being on set for something else, like some talent casting. And I ended up talking to this business owner who was on set. She was an older woman. She had been in business, I think she said maybe like 30 years. And I was just asking her for some advice on getting new contracts and really just, getting to that next level with my company. Because I was only making just these very, very small amounts of money that just wasn't much at all. And she gave me some really good advice. And I want to say like a month later, she ended up emailing me and was like, "Hey, I want to bring you on a project with my company." And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is amazing." And with me working on that project with them, I made a proposal for them and one of their clients. And they was like, the information in this proposal is really good, but the way you format it is really bad. And they kept like tweaking the proposal. And at the time I was getting frustrated because I'm like, oh my gosh, like they don't like it. Like they keep telling me all these changes. But long story short, those changes that they had me make with that proposal um, is the exact proposal that's, made me over six figures from working with those brands now, that now I get to pay me, those $3,000, the $4,000 that I couldn't get people to pay me before. And it's all because I ended up just meeting this woman who ended up hating my proposal so much that she like changed this, changed that, changed this, changed that. And it ended up helping me have like that blueprint now that I use for all of my proposals. So I just wanted to add that and share, like, you never know who you're going to meet. And also just believing in what you have, right? I could have been sending those proposals out that no one, I sent them to, a lot of brands and no one liked it. No one wanted to work with us. I could have easily been like, well, this is a bad idea. No one wants to work with this. I'll just stop doing the company. But I kept going. And maybe for like 6 or 7 months of sending that out, no responses from people. That's when things ended up picking up once I landed that correct, just the correct format. It was all about the format. It wasn't the information. It was just the way that it was set up. So sometimes, you don't necessarily have to throw out what you have. Just go back and see if you can format it a little bit differently, if you can optimize it a little bit better.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you,
Bruce.
everyone.
Yeah, I feel led to say this before I had to leave. I'm here at the gym trying to get it in. Really, I'm trying to get it in, bro. I felt led to say this. I'm gonna quote this book Napoleon Hill wrote, and it was a controversial book when he came out with it. You probably know what the book is. It's called How to Outwit the Devil. Right? So Napoleon Hill had a conversation with Lucifer or Satan, and this book did not come out in the time he was alive. Y'all know Napoleon Hill, he wrote Think and Grow Rich, right? And I want to share one part of this book that blew me away. I was heading to Bowie State University to go speak, doing some work out there with community health work and stuff, trying to, build some stuff out that way in Bowie. And I was reading this part of the book, and I feel like it's fitting for where everyone is, and I want to share it. So Napoleon Hill asked him, like, why do so many businesses and people fail in their marriage, or people? He was really talking about like business, like why do people fail in their business, and why is failure exists? And you're not gonna believe what Satan said in this book. He said failure is not real. This is what I'm paraphrasing. He said failure is not real. It's only real to the person who tries at least 2 to 3 times and stop. That's when I got him. Hear this now. I'm about this jump. I threw the whole book. I mean, I threw the whole book when I caught it, but I threw that joint when I caught it. I almost lost my mind. He said failure is only real to the person that stops after 2 or 3 tries. He said to the individual that does not have an end point or end result of like what failure is. He was like, to the person who keeps trying, he said failure to them is actually their success. And then Napoleon asked, can you explain a little bit further, like what does that mean? He said failure is actually a protector to success. He said to the person who keeps trying and keeps moving forward through the process, that person I cannot stop. And Napoleon was like, why can't you stop those people? He said, because they already understand that, this is what Satan said, that God already won the battle for them. And he said to the person who has, he called it the purpose of the, it's not of definite, it's called the purpose of the definite purpose, or the purpose of definite. Like the person who is definitely like not stopping. He said, that person I cannot stop whatsoever because I know they're going to keep trying no matter what. And he said to them, he said to the person who is experiencing failure that has a definite purpose, they understand what they're called to do. He said they actually become something different as they're going through failure. This man, look, this young, look, I know I'm supposed to share this with y'all. He said to the person who keeps trying and does not stop, they become something different through the process of failure. By the time they get to the other side of it, failure actually defined them versus the success. And I was like, whoa. And then the last thing came up that I wanted to share. Opportunity is really presented like, when they come, because opportunity has expiration dates on them. They have a start date and end date. And, when those doors are open, walk through them. And opportunities really are, broken down to two things for me, is making more offers and making more connections. And we have been designed by fear stops a whole lot of this stuff. Self-sabotage. Make more offers, make more connections, because we have to get comfortable in entrepreneurship just planting seeds. You don't know what seed that you planted today with the person you made an offer to or made a connection with. And then 3 to 4 months later, that turned into a 5-figure contract. So what I'm saying is that Satan is banking on the fact, just based on, I'm not going to try to lose y'all when I say this, just based on cybernetics, which means the machine of the mind, how you think, right? You actually stop yourself. Satan says, I don't even do the work. This is what he said in the book. He said actually the person stops themselves. It's called cybernetics. It means is the machine mind. The mind is a machine. So these psychologists wrote this book called cybernetics, right? It's a good book for entrepreneurs. Those two books, those are some heavy hitter books. But if you want to start with one, start with cybernetics. It's a powerful book. Talks about the body being a supernatural technology and how you can actually achieve anything just through imagination. They did a study on some elite tennis players that they did this imagination exercise, and most elite tennis players do this, or elite athletes do this, like Olympics and everybody do this. They sit down and they run the play through their mind over and over and over again. They did a study and said the muscles were firing off from just them sitting still. It was no different from them running than them sitting. So if it was a track star going through the process in the imagination, there was no difference in them actually physically running than them sitting, because the imagination exercises, the brain doesn't understand the difference between imagination and reality. So if you really want to achieve something, they were saying, just achieve it through imagination and repetition of seeing yourself being a 6, 7, 8-figure earner, opening doors for people. And when you do that, it actually fires off in your body, your physiology, I can't even say the word, Lord. I'm so crunk. Your physical being is no difference between real life and in your brain. So I just wanted to say those things without getting too far off. Just make more offers, make more connections, plant the seeds, and keep moving through failure, because it actually defines you by the time you get to the other side. And Satan can't stop nobody like that. And that's it. That was it, bro. That's all I wanted to share.
That's good.
Yo,
That's real
yo.
good. You need to drop them books in the chat now.
I did, y'all.
That book, How to Outwit the Devil.
Yeah, that's fire.
That's me. That it's written by Napoleon Hill, and you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, but you can't stop. You understand, like, everybody who's tried something 1,000 different times, people just like, I just tried this 1,000 different times, but the character is built through the 1,000 different iterations of the process, not the actual outcome. The outcome really does not matter. It is actually 1,000 different iterations of you achieving, making more offers, making more proposals, trying to get someone to get your product. You actually become a different individual experiencing failure. So it's really not real. It's only real to the person that stops.
That is facts. I can definitely attest to just that process of becoming a totally new person. I know I have so many conversations with Timet in our coaching where I'm literally like, yo, I know
Yeah.
we just talked like 2 weeks ago, but I don't even feel like I'm that same person because I'm doing so much work. And at the same time, I'm applying the things that I'm being led to. But I'm also allowing God to move inside of me because there's certain things like I just can't do for myself. So I'm starting to find beauty in that level of vulnerability where it's like,
Yeah.
I know that I'm a finite being. I can only do but so much, but
Yeah.
God can do all things. So him moving in me has been so transformational to the point where even when I'm like interacting with my husband or my children or members of my extended family, I can tell the difference. You know, it's like, wow, I didn't even respond how I would typically respond. I'm literally looking at
Yeah.
myself in the mirror like, who is this lady? You know, like it really transforms like that. So I get it. And it happens, you know, at different points in people's lives. But I think on the entrepreneurial journey, you're just paying attention to it more because you notice a lot about yourself. It forces you to be very self-aware. So I was noticing some deficits. And when I allowed God to step in and sort of change those things for me, it was so beneficial. So that's 1,000% true.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say this last thing. I have to go. My homework assignment today from my mentor, right? My coach was to watch Inside and Out 2 today. All right. He told me 5 times. That's Hackett. Y'all know Hackett, Jay Hackett. That's my business mentor. You know, y'all, that's how I connected with you, Timet and Shablis, through him. And he was like, did you watch Inside and Out 2? I said, why am I watching this movie? He said, Bruce, just go watch it. He told me 5 times. And I went to go watch it and I caught the revelation of what I needed for myself. And I'll say this because this is what I'm experiencing. You won't know how, I'm saying this, but I'm actually living through this. You won't know how to make $1 million until you lost $100,000. You won't know how to truly like cross over into 7 figures until you experience some of that level of loss in business. Because failure to the person who has a definite and purpose, it does something different to that individual than the person who is just kind of playing with risk. But the person who is all sold all out for like, this is all I got. There's going to become a time in your entrepreneurial journey, because I'm striving to 7 figures, right, in my business, and I'm pushing towards that. And I'm like, why I keep hitting this barrier? And then boom, I can say this. I lost $100,000, and I was like, oh my God. I just got off the other side of that. But it hit me. You won't really know how to hit the next level until you sacrifice something. And when I experienced $100,000 loss in one of my businesses, I really, really did not know what it mean to really dig in. I didn't know what I wasn't a real entrepreneur for real until I could still generate and produce when I got a hit like that in my business. And the enemy was banking like, oh yeah, shortcuts, right? Because I can sometimes be lazy too. And I was like, oh, and I did some lazy stuff. And I was like, I can sit back, and then it hit. So when I watch Inside and Out 2, this is my last thing, I promise. I'm gonna leave the floor. The girl was dealing with, I'm not gonna give the movies, but the revelation that was given for me, that beliefs were born out of decision making. I want to say that one more time. You'll understand it when you watch the movie. That should be an assignment for everybody. That beliefs, your belief system, is birth out of your decision-making process. And the decisions that you make over the course of time actually build your belief system. And once something becomes a belief, it actually is a subconscious behavior you do over and over and over again. So I'll say these last two things. Success is predictable and failure is predictable. The reason why it is because a person who has, because habits run the world. If you have habits of success, then the habits that you have will produce more success. If you have habits of failure will produce no success. You will actually lose everything. So when I watch that, I say, I got it. I need to be careful what decisions I make or what I allowed into my mind, because I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. And you'll see the movie that anxiety actually was warping some of my decision making. I'm telling on myself. It was warping some of my decision making, and it was taking over the control center of how I made decisions versus the fruits of the spirit where God left: peace, love, joy, long suffering, happy, you know what I'm saying? Gentleness, meekness, like those things I forgot because I was trying to do it in my might and power. So I just wanted to say that because this call has blessed me. Thank y'all so much. And I'm chilling out now.
Man, you might as well, you know, burnt the mic up. It ain't even no mic left for nobody to speak on.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Mike done. But I will say this, we are pushing our time, and I like to be in integrity with time because we are stewards. And so I want to make sure that we stay in the confines of what we promised you all and give you your 8:30. So I'm gonna really quickly just recap the fine points, turn it over to Matt for the benediction and any final instructions. I can't wait to lose $100,000. 2022, I lost like $36,000 and cried like a baby, not literally but figuratively speaking. But I can't wait to lose $100,000. I can promise you I will not sleep until I make $1 million after I lose 100. So I'm really trying to lose $1 million, but I ain't trying to run before I crawl. So I'm gonna crawl, I'm gonna walk, and then I'm gonna run. So mindset, critical. Opportunity, critical. Good habits, essential. Choose to make value in everything that you do. Transfer all of the skills that you created to work on that which you have been purposed and designed to contribute to humanity. And so with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Met to take us on out of here with the benediction. I will be back. I gotta go to Bruce's class because he took me to school on the night that I was supposed to be facilitating. So I will be back, y'all. To Met, the floor is yours. Thank you, everybody, for participating and all the contributions that you made this evening. You have blessed my life tremendously with your vulnerability. I wanted to play this little video. I probably will send it to Met about the most powerful emotion on the planet. To Met, if I'm not present at the next one, please make sure that you at least circulate it if you don't have time to play it. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure to be in service this evening and share space. Tamet, it's all yours.
All right, good stuff, y'all. Let's show Chablis some love. Emoji, comment. This was good, man. I'm so full. I'm so full. Y'all some special people. I don't know if you know that, but this program, that just email was sent out to over 200 people. But yet y'all showed up today. You know, it showed on multiple social media platforms, but y'all showed up today. And so I just wanted to first, you know, just thank Chablis and our facilitators for showing up and contributing. I want to thank you all for contributing and showing up. This ain't for me. This is for y'all. And so thank you for showing up for yourself on today. I wanted to mention that when we talk about opportunity and choices, y'all, I wasn't about to do this program this year. I called Shabli. I was kind of like, should I do this? It's a quick turnaround. We just had a networking event to kind of bridge, build community. And so this is a part of a systemic pipeline. You guys are in the phase 2 of this pipeline. Phase 1 was a networking event called Roots, realizing our opportunities together. Q and I, who's also serving as a facilitator and owner of QMF Agency, we came together with this vision to help support Black entrepreneurs in our community and just at large. And so whether you're in state or out of state, we wanted to let you know that you can have a support system here in North Carolina, specifically in Durham, North Carolina. And so, shout out to Q and QMF Agency for us just coming together to put on this vision. Shout out to y'all. Y'all, I saw you before you got here. I saw you before you got here. I only saw 10 people. I ain't gonna front. But then I was like, nah, God, if you can bring 10, you can bring more than 10. So I just want to let you know the how critical it is to see it before it's even here. Whatever you want as far as your success, you gotta see it before it even comes. Tadrika, if you still here, girl, that car that need to be fixed, girl, that car is running. It's running. You got everything you need. You ain't got to stop to put no more oil in. You ain't got to stop to have that calling that a mechanic every week. It's done. You got to see it.
I'm touching in a grand.
In the mighty name. And so I encourage that for you all. Whatever it is you want for your business ventures, go ahead and see it done. See it done. And so, you guys, I want to let you know that you're going to have the opportunity, if this is convicting you so much, if this is inspiring your confidence so much, we're going to have a pitch competition at the end of this. Whether you have an idea or a business, you will have the opportunity to share that and in return, make some money. Now, you will be judged. I will send out the criteria, but you will have the opportunity to make some money. And let me tell you, the people who won are the ones who believe in themselves. They believe in themselves so much that you believe, that the judges believe. And they're like, you know what? I think I want to put some money in their pocket. And so we have a first, second, and third prize winner. If you want to connect with me and kind of hash out the details, you have a few weeks. That pitch competition will be on August 1st. Most of our participants who did this at our last Fall Forward had never done a pitch competition before. And so I encourage you to have that faith over fear. And our goal is to get you so inspired and compelled that you're like, you know what, shoot, I'm gonna just take my shot. And so in our weeks to come, we'll meet every Tuesday via Zoom from 6:30 to 8:30. And our next week, we'll be covering turning ideas into action, the pursuit of knowledge, how do you view wealth, how do you build your brand, how do you establish community, and persistence. And so I thank you all for your support. I'll be sending out details so that you can have access to that curriculum. You do not have to pay for that, okay? So keep that in mind. That is not anything you have to pay for. But you will get the details, and we do encourage you to review the curriculum prior to class. And so that grand prize for the winner is $500. Okay? I know that $500 could pay for something. Now, that money can be used to your discretion. We hope that you use it to start an LLC or do whatever you need to do to legitimize your business. But honey, if you need to put some food in the house, get that car fixed, pay for whatever you need to pay for, you can do so. So we're so excited to have you with us on this journey. We look forward to seeing you next week. Any comments, questions, or concerns, post it in the chat. I will send that chat is popping now. I took some good notes. So I will be posting that in the chat. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you again, Shabli. Love, peace, and hair grease. Until next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good Thank night.
All right.
Good night. Night. Night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Come back now. Come back next week. Let me see how I can save this chat. So y'all gonna have to leave because I'm trying to save this chat.
Everybody got to go before you can save the chat.
No, I don't know how to. I don't want to close out. Is what I'm saying before I save it.
Oh, well, you could turn your whatchamacallit off too. Your recording.
Oh, let me do that.